Is the Nordic industry ahead of the game in the transition to circular economy? In some ways, perhaps. Sustainability and circular economy are an integral part of the Nordic mindset and policy. Take Finland, for example. The Finns launched the first national circular economy roadmap in 2016. In the same year, Sweden announced a reduction of VAT taxes for repair services by more than a half in order to address what has been described as the throwaway culture. Denmark is known as having one of the most efficient collection systems for beverage packaging in the world, with a collection rate of 89% due to a combination of legislation and industry cross-collaboration. Norway, which is the biggest oil and gas producer in Western Europe, is already a leader in electric vehicles sales due to green incentives. The country is planning to further reduce its dependency on oil and foster a transition towards the use of renewables. Similarly, Iceland has a unique energy grid, considered one of the few 100% clean energy grids in the world. This context enables and supports businesses to embed sustainable and circular practices in their offerings. On the other hand, Nordic industry also faces challenges. For example, global competitors that do not internalize the sustainability impacts of their approaches, or think of increasingly strict environmental regulation. As a result of these challenges, businesses are increasingly recognizing the need to commercialize secondary raw materials, to ensure availability of spare parts, and to devise alternative and innovative business models through a variety of approaches. This leads manufacturers to expand or adapt their offerings as ways to enhance their value propositions.
Take, for example, Norsk Ombruk, whose business model is based on extending the life of household electrical goods. They take in devices such as fridges, stoves and washing machines. They're relatively new and energy efficient, but that do not function any longer because of relatively minor faults. Norsk Ombruk repairs or refurbishes these devices and resells them. Another example of circular business model innovation is Unicarriers, who provide a range of industrial trucks. Unicarriers' business model relies on being able to renovate trucks and resell them or rent or lease them out for longer periods of time. This is enabled by a large degree of standardization of parts across its product range. Moreover, Unicarriers strives to cascade its trucks. Following a second renovation, trucks are used in less demanding applications. Business model innovation, however, is not the only focus area. Other businesses focus on materials selection and product design to enable circularity. Gabriel, supplier of furniture textiles, has redesigned its products with a focus on material health, by banning the use of heavy metals in its dyes, reusing waste as raw material for new products, and sourcing renewable materials, such as wool. A different approach was taken by pulp and paper equipment manufacturer Valmet. This company has designed its Opticoncept M machines by combining standardization with modular tailoring. This way the machine is easier to maintain, repair, as well as to upgrade. It now has increased flexibility to handle grade changes, which has the potential to improve the machine's utilization factor. A range of developments have also taken place in the area of packaging and logistics. Tetra Pak has made a step towards greater circularity with the launch of Tetra Rex in 2015. A bio-based and responsibly sourced beverage carton that offers an alternative to petrochemical-derived packaging. It is made with 2 renewable materials. Paperboard from FSC certified sources make up the body, and 2 grades of polyethylene derived from sugarcane are used for the laminate film, neck and cap. Another example in this area is Repack. This company aims to reduce the amount of packaging materials used in e-commerce by providing a reusable packaging system. At checkout, customers are offered the option to use Repack, for which a small deposit is charged. After having received their order, customers can return the Repack through the regular postal system, free of charge. When the company receives the Repack back, the deposit is returned in the form of an email voucher. This voucher can be used for the next purchase from any web store that uses Repack. Others have found ingenious ways to recover resources or to generate more value from waste. Kallenburg and HS Orca's resource park are two examples of industrial symbiosis in the Nordic region. Here, co-located businesses use each other's byproducts, creating a web of exchanges that facilitate the reuse of waste and reduces the need for virgin materials. In contrast with the co-location approach, Gypsum Recycling International has made mobility its strength. This company has implemented a collection and recycling system for plasterboard that uses mobile recycling units. Waste plasterboard is collected and transported to a warehouse. When the warehouses are full, a mobile treatment facility is dispatched. On arrival, the units remove paper and contaminants from the waste and separate out the high-quality gypsum powder. This is then delivered to plasterboard plants for the production of new boards. Other cases aim for a complete change of the system. Take Biciclen, for example. Biciclen offers a bike hire service in Copenhagen, where robustly designed electric bikes are combined with parking and charging stations throughout the city. Users can simply create an account online and are charged for the time they use the bikes. This sharing system facilitates that product capacity is used more intensively compared to individual ownership. These are just some examples of the many companies in the Nordic region that are already implementing strategies that are either circular or a step towards greater circularity. They illustrate that circular economy is relevant for a large number of sectors, for SMEs and large companies, and for both business-to-business and business-to-consumer companies, and whether you are dealing with biological or non-biological materials.
So, does that mean that the Nordic economy is fully circular? Of course not. Many current strategies can be further developed, and in some cases, additional strategies can be added, such as, for example, implementing reuse strategies with repair and maintenance strategies. Also, many other companies have not yet started their journey towards a greater circularity. As such, many companies could benefit from a systematized approach to circular economy. However, a successful transition is not straightforward, as it requires a systemic change in the way companies understand and do business. It requires fundamental changes throughout the value chain, from innovation, product design, and production processes, all the way to end of life, new business models, and consumption patterns. This is what the CIRCit project aims to accomplish. CIRCit's mission is to conceptualize, develop, and implement a set of tools and approaches that will enable the Nordic industry to accelerate the transitions towards a sustainable society by means of circular economy. The ultimate purpose of CIRCit is to support the Nordic industry to increase competitiveness, stimulate growth, and facilitate job creation, leading to efficient production and an efficient use of natural resources and energy. CIRCit is a collaboration between 5 Nordic institutions: the Research Institute Suria from Sweden, the Technology Industries of Finland, the Norwegian University of Science and Technology, the Innovation Center Iceland, and the Technical University of Denmark. As well as collaborating between the different countries, the researchers in CIRCit work with businesses to ensure that the generated knowledge and tools draw on experience from practice and offers practitioners a concrete and pragmatic way forward.
We have identified 6 focus areas that are vital to transitioning to circular economy. The first is sustainability assessment. How to determine if a circular solution is better in terms of environmental performance, social aspects, and business benefits than a linear one? To address this question, we are developing a method where sustainability can be assessed during the innovation process. This as opposed to assessing a product or a service when it is already on the market. Next, we will examine how companies can remain competitive and continue to grow without using even more resources. Specifically, we are developing a tool to support the creation of sustainable circular business models, taking into account a company's position in the value chain, current and new products and services, best practices, success cases, and the company's strategic goals. products and services need to be designed to fit circular systems. There usually exist different ways of doing this, but these may not have the same potential for resource productivity. To optimize resource productivity, these differences need to be measured. For this reason, we are developing a tool for assessing product circularity and are formulating a set of practical design guidelines to support early product development processes. Tracking, tracing, and monitoring of materials and products is important for performing repair or preventive maintenance and for recovering and recycling materials. But what technologies to use and how to turn the generated data into a competitive advantage? And importantly, how to address security and privacy concerns. To address these questions, we are evaluating and adapting intelligent assets and IoT technologies for enabling and facilitating circular economy. We also focus on the processes required to close loops at the end of life or end of use stages. We are developing an assessment tool to support the identification of the best circular strategy for products based on technical, market, infrastructure, and sustainability characteristics. We will furthermore provide guidance on how to plan and organize the implementation of the identified strategies. No one company can establish a circular economy by itself. Therefore, we also focus on co-creation, collaboration, and cross-sector learning. When designing, implementing, and optimizing circular value chains, it is easy to get lost in the complexity of using multiple circular strategies in parallel and having to engage with more new or different types of actors. For this reason, we are developing a framework to support the conceptualization of different circular value chain configurations and in structuring the co-creation process. These focus areas are the basis for the different work packages we are working with. What makes CIRCit unique is that the different tools are developed as part of an integrated toolkit. That is, the project doesn't just develop tools to support different parts of the journey towards greater circularity, but creates a suite of tools that can be used alongside each other.
Are you a business based in the Nordic region and want to get involved in CIRCit? Then go to our website and tell us which work packages are of particular interest to you. You can also find dates for upcoming workshops there. Or are you a business outside of the Nordic region, or do you represent another type of organization and want to exchange experiences? You can get in touch directly via the CIRCit website. More Nordic cases of circular economy and other ways to stay up to date with the project you can find online. You can also follow us on LinkedIn or on Twitter using @CircitNord.